What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol WISH for ContextLogic Inc. Of course, this is just Wish, the online distributor. Looking at the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. This will be more of an update since we did cover this one recently, so checking in on the daily, what is going on here? Well, certainly just sideways holding this consolidation point after a major earnings gap down. Generally, that is not going to bode well for a major reversal here. This is generally price acceptance right at these levels. It's not signaling to us that price wants to resume and come back into this area of value where we had been trading for quite some time prior. So considering that, let's shift the focus to the 30-minute time frame chart, see what is going on here. Can we learn anything from today's price action? And I would argue a little bit, right? So what I want to point out is the level we have here at $7.35. If you look at what's going on, if I just expand this for a second, you can probably see it a little bit better if I do that. There we go. You can clearly see that it was prior support here, offered resistance on Monday as well as here on Tuesday, 735. It is a key area. Just like we've discussed in some other videos, whenever you're looking at something like this and we have about a 50% mark in the range, it's very simple to think about, bullish and bearish outcomes. When you're consolidating, if you're in the lower 50%, obviously that's more bearish. If you're in the upper 50%, that's more bullish, and you're looking to favor those breaks here. If you're consolidating down below here, you're obviously looking to favor those breaks that way. But until either break happens, you never want to be a trader at that 50% mark. You don't want to be initiative here because you have a 50-50 shot of higher and or lower to either end of the range. So on today's activity, how did we close according to our Fibonacci's, right? If we do something like this, go from the low of today at 9:30 here, there we go, up to today's high, and we'll drag those numbers off to here so we can see them a bit better. How did we close, right? Where was the 38.2? Just below, right? So we closed just below that. Did we violate the 50? Yeah. Did we violate the 61.8? No, we didn't. So we never got candle closes underneath here. So it's not all out bearish, but again, remember, we are consolidating and spending more time in the lower 50% as opposed to the upper 50% of that range, which we just described. So it's not looking the greatest. The upper wick on the daily candle is not looking the greatest either. Generally, that implies some selling activity. The last thing I would sort of leave you with here on Wish is a preliminary level, or something that would act as a hurdle first here at 703. If we can start to take that out to the upside, then maybe we go back to the middle of the range. Again, I would not advise that you actually take this trade here. Rather wait and see what happens, and then if we start consolidating in that upper 50%, maybe this remains on your radar for a gap fill trade all the way up towards that 933. Again, that's just a speculation here based on some of the key signposts that we just outlined from a resistance standpoint. To the downside, if we break down underneath $6.70, what do we know about this? Well, there is nothing underneath us, so it doesn't really do us justice to speculate how far down we could potentially go. If I do something like this, the only rule of thumb that I really have to offer you whenever we see a balance area is to imply, or rather use, balance rules. So I would say the balance is like this. You generally look to double that range, and where would that bring us? Just using the cursor here, right around $5.71. But as we know, if we go to the trade tab, there is no shares to short here, HTB on Thinkorswim, and the open interest here is okay. Volume was actually okay, but looking out and forward, I don't know. Maybe, depending on how many contracts you would want to trade on the put side, maybe there's enough here for you. Maybe there's not. So that's a judgment call you need to make. But to the downside, I would kind of just avoid this. I think there are better setups, long setups in other names. So if you enjoyed this update, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description. And all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.